Whoa, dude, what's going on, folks?
What's up, motherfuckers?
Fucking Drew is back.
I'm finally back. I know y'all missed me.
Damn, it was. We missed you, Drew. Nah, we didn't miss you at all. No,
Fuck this guy. Get off my podcast.
No, dude, I did miss doing the old movie pods.
Hell yeah, man.
On the regular pod, I've been dumping all the movies I watched on them every week, you know.
Gotta scratch that itch a little bit, yeah.
But I still have a long list of shit that I've watched just in the past couple weeks. But yeah, I know you've been busy with shit, so I don't.
Yeah, I did watch. I've got 3 movies, and they're all new movies. That's pretty much what I watched while I was gone. I really didn't have time to watch a lot of movies.
Everybody wants to be a cat because the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. All right. Well, we should just jump right into it, right? What should we do for the goddamn snapshot?
I'm going to do the Star Trek.
I like that. Okay. That'll do. That was a good one. Oh, fucking fart in my ass. What's good?
That's usually where they lay. It's the place for those.
So yeah, like I said, I got a fucking list of shit I watched in the past couple.
Right. I actually watched 2 new movies on Monday.
Is that right? You wanna shoot one out first?
Yeah. So this one is a lesser known one, and I thought the previews looked kind of dumb, but it's called Monkey Man, and it was actually fucking it was a dope ass movie. Actually, it was like the India version of John Wick.
It was that guy from the Green Knight.
Yeah, the Green Knight. Yeah,
yeah.
It was an awesome fucking movie. Like I really
saw it in
enjoyed
theater.
It. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. We me and my buddy Dylan did a double feature. So that was the first movie we watched. And
okay.
I was like, I thought it was just gonna be like another dumb like revenge movie, and it kind of was, but I really fucking liked it. And like it had more of a story, like the reason he wants revenge is like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I would want to fucking murder the people that did that to me too. Like, so it's very I mean, parts of it are like, yeah, okay, this is some Hollywood shit, but other parts are like really gritty, and I think it does. That's kind of something that is missing from a lot of movies like that, where it's like they become so, like the kill count goes so high, and it's almost like they're impervious to damage. But in this movie, like you see him get hurt, like you see him like take damage, you see him like fail at first. So it's like it was kind of cool. It was a lot more gritty and down to earth.
I think that was produced by Jordan Peele, right?
It sure was, yeah. You were correct,
Did it feel like a Jordan Peele stuff?
Not really, man. It was, I mean, some of the cinematography, like, had his, like, the vibes of his horror movies, but as far as, like, the storytelling and the overall, like, direction, and not really, you
just a touch of Peele.
Yeah, just a touch of Peele.
Peele Stan. You know that song? 'Cause I finally found a reason.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need an excuse. I got this time on my hands. You are the one to abuse.
Yep. Love that song.
Oh, all right. Let me throw one at you. What the fuck did I watch? The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Nice.
Have you seen that?
You keep telling me to watch it, and I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, fuck my mouth. Man, it's so good. That's another Coen Brothers. We were just talking about Coen Brothers before we started this. It's so good. It's like 6 short stories.
Okay. Yeah.
All, put together in a movie. And, it's got everybody. Tim Blake Nelson's in the first one. Then you got James Franco's in there. You got Liam Neeson in there.
I do like Liam Neeson.
Tom Waits. And just a bunch of fucking... Dude. Brendan Gleeson's in one of them.
Nice. Dude, the funniest thing that Liam Neeson is in is his cameo in Ted 2. Like, Ted 2 as a movie kind of sucks. But that, little scene with Liam Neeson in it is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen.
I don't know. I'm not too familiar with those movies.
Well, he's such a, he basically comes up to the counter where Ted is, and he's like, I know that the advertisement for this says that they're for kids.
That's a pretty good impression.
But I want to know. Can I purchase this box of tricks? He's like, that
sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's like, it should be fine. He's like, so, if I purchase this and I leave here, I won't be followed? He's like, no, we don't really have the manpower to do that, sir. So there'll be no problems.
He was also in 1,000 Ways to Die in the West. Too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And it's like some of that stuff's kind of funny, but I'm telling you, his cameo in Ted 2 is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. Because he's so straight-laced and serious.
They made a series out of that now, like a prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first movie was funny. Second one sucks. I have no interest in watching that show.
My next movie was Honey Boy. Do you know this one? Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I've not seen that. I've seen Peanut Butter Falcon, and I really like that movie. I've never seen Honey Boy, though.
It was pretty good, man.
I've heard it's good.
It's basically, apparently, it's loosely based on his own life. He wrote it, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
And it's like he's playing his father's character.
Sure.
Who's kind of an asshole, and he's kind of... he's got this son who's in the business, and he's just trying to push him to keep, I don't know,
right, to rise to greater heights.
Yeah. But he himself, he was this washed up clown. He used to be a clown or something. I don't know, but yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah,
well enough.
The next one I saw was the new Guy Ritchie movie, the League of Ungentlemanly Warfare, like that. That movie's pretty good too. It's not my favorite Guy Ritchie movie.
That was your other theater?
That was the other theater.
Double feature.
It was pretty good. I liked.
Who's all in that?
There's a ton of people in that, so it's got
an ensemble. I vaguely heard about it, but didn't spark my interest.
So the German dude in Inglourious Bastards,
Christoph Waltz?
Not Christoph Waltz, but the other guy. He's one of the bastards. He's a German who's killing the other Germans. He's the guy that's at the table. He stabs that one officer at the beer table. He stabs him in the dick with a knife.
Oh, okay.
He's the main bad guy in this movie.
All right.
It's also got Henry Cavill. It's got Alan Rickmanson. It's got the main dude plays one of the officers from the main dude from Princess Bride is in it.
Carrie Elwes or whatever.
Yep, he plays their intelligence officer.
That's weird. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him. I was like, okay, cool.
I like him.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of other people. I forget who the main chick is in the movie, but it was good. I didn't like it as much as Monkey Man. I kind of liked I like the first half more because the first half is kind of crazy and they're all they're doing is killing Nazis. It was kind of fun to watch. And then it gets a little bit more toned down at the end. It's not it doesn't feel as batshit crazy as the opening of the movie was. But no, it was fine. It's not my favorite Guy Ritchie movie, but it was good. I would definitely watch
what else did Guy Ritchie do? Because I know the name.
He did Snatch. He did Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Okay.
He did The Gentleman. He's done a lot of fucking movies.
All right, yeah. I don't really know any of those, but I know of them. My next one was Miller's Crossing. Ever heard of it? It's another Coen Brothers. It's one I haven't seen previously.
I think I have heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
Who the fuck is in that? It's got John Turturro and Miller's Crossing cast. Yeah, John Turturro, Steve Buscemi's in there.
Oh shit! Okay.
Steve Buscemi's in like most of the Coen Brothers. He always dies, and he died in this movie too.
Right, he dies in Fargo.
Because he's Donnie.
He dies. Yeah,
he gets a heart attack.
Every movie he's in, he does.
Every
die.
Coen Brothers movie, they always kill him, bro. But yeah, it was pretty decent, man. Like Coen Brothers fucking rule. There's not many Coen Brothers movies that I don't like. Hudsucker Proxy, that one was pretty bad.
Yeah, I haven't. I heard it's like real slow and boring.
Yeah, Tim Robbins, it wasn't good. But yeah, that was good.
Tim Robbins is in a lot of fucking weird movies.
I'd give that one a watch in the future again. You got any more? Should I
I've got one more. It was also one I saw in theaters. I saw the new Godzilla King Kong movie.
Okay.
It was fine for what it was. It's just like it's just like a big CGI movie.
That's not Godzilla -1, is it?
No, I really liked that one.
Yeah,
actually.
everybody's been saying good things about that one.
It's one of the only Godzilla movies.
I didn't realize there was another one.
Yeah, this one is an American one where it's like Godzilla and King Kong fight like another like giant monkey character. I don't know. Story's really fucking stupid. It's just like big CGI battles. It was like, yeah, all right, it's fine for what it is, but it's like I'm kind of tired of seeing this kind of shit. Right. That's why it was like so refreshing. Just
repetitive.
Yeah, that's what was so refreshing about Monkey Man and the League of Ungentlemen Warfare is that they relied more on story and it was a lot more grounded. So it was like, yeah, there's still like CGI and special effects and shit like that, but it's not really noticeable. You know what I mean? It's like when you're watching it, you're not really thinking, all right, I'm just looking at a bunch of fucking CGI.
Right.
Like you're not
I hate that.
Yeah, I'm like kind of tired of it. So it wasn't like nice to watch like current movies that aren't so CGI heavy, because that like the Godzilla, like there's some things in that movie where it's like everything you're watching is done on a fucking computer screen. You know what I mean?
know, right?
I'm just like, man,
it's like that. Have you heard of that Late Night with the Devil movie? It's a newer movie.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Apparently, there's like some AI generated shit in that movie, which is not a good sign.
No.
Like it's the first time
I
think like a motion picture ever used actual AI imagery in their movie.
Well, there's also this thing, because it was something that Netflix tried to do, right? They were doing, I think it was like Love and Robots. It was like a series they did.
Oh, I watched some of that.
And so it's essentially what they're doing is they're trying to get rid of they're trying to make movies completely with, like everything is computer generated, right? So it's like it's cheaper because they don't have to hire actors. They just hire voice actors at like a way lower price.
Yeah, but it doesn't come across
but it just,
as
it's like
authentic.
It's not authentic because like you're fucking watching. It's like watching a fucking video game cutscene, right? Like that's exactly what it feels like.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't think they'll ever get to a point where the CGI is textured in a way where it's like feels authentic and realistic. You know what I mean?
I mean, eventually they'll probably get there. This shit's advancing by the day,
But the thing is though, sometimes.
But it won't have that feel, that soul, that human. I'm
not so sure because
aspect to it.
I'm not so sure just because, for one, there still has to be somebody with an artistic background that guides the AI, because the AI can only do so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, if you look at like CGI from the mid 2000s and then compare it to like CGI today, some of the CGI from like 10 years ago actually looks better than shit that comes out today, just because the deadlines are just so unrealistic. So they have to rush to get shit done. And it's just like, you're looking at it and like, it's like, I've seen movies that are older than this that look better. I was like,
subtle CGI is better. Like when you go overboard with the CGI, it's like it takes me out of it,
Yeah, and it's actually, what's funny is one of the most popular movies of all time is partly at fault for that, which is The Matrix, right?
Oh yeah.
It was one of the first like heavily CGI movies.
I still like The Matrix. I think
I
it's
do
a good
too.
movie.
But the thing that it did right though is it still uses a lot of models, right? Like, so there's still a lot of models in that movie, like when they do like the spaceships like underground and all that kind of shit. You're looking at like an actual like model moving through a space, and then it's textured through the computer. So I think it's better when you do shit like that, because it's like there's something physical that you're
like
still
special
actually
effects.
it's the same thing that the did for Star Wars. Is a lot of that stuff is miniature models.
Yeah,
and that's why it looks so good.
I dig that shit.
Yeah,
man. It comes across pretty cool when you see it. Like Tim Burton did a lot of that shit, with like Beetlejuice and shit.
Yeah, of
like
course.
that.
Yeah.
You looking forward to the new Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice.
It's kind of like with that Flash movie where Michael Keaton came back as Batman.
Yeah.
It's like the only reason I'm going to watch Beetlejuice, too, is because fucking Michael Keaton's in it. Like,
yeah.
Because he's going to be the best part of that movie, hands down.
Hey, they're not bringing Alec Baldwin back, is it? He might shoot someone.
Yeah.
You heard about that? How he shot someone on set on accident?
I did
like
hear
the
about
prop gun went off and killed someone?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was
Anyways, we should move on.
It was a fucking another Brandon Lee situation.
Yeah, pretty much. Which they're making a new Crow too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I was at the theaters and like they have like old movies that they're playing at the theaters.
Sure.
One a month and shit, and I was like, damn, I missed Wizard of Oz in January. That would have been fucking awesome. I would have loved to see Wizard of Oz in theaters. But anyways, my next movie is The Hateful Eight.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Fucking loved it, dude.
I like that movie a lot, actually.
It was I've only seen it once, maybe twice, but on this watch, I love it, dude.
Dude, my favorite scene...
Kurt Russell fucking rules.
He's awesome in that movie, but my favorite scene is still with Sam Jackson when he's like telling that army colonel the story of how he basically dragged his son out in the wilderness butt naked and made him suck his big black dick, like, and he's only saying this to get him to draw the gun and try and shoot him. Like.
Yeah. I remember you said you watched it recently, like last time we podcast or something.
Yep, I watched the net where it's split up into like 4 parts.
Yeah,
and I really
that's
liked
the same
it that
thing
way
I watched
too. So that way, like, it's like gives me a breather, so I can
I agree. It was really cool how they did that. It's the extended version, but it's broken up into like 3 parts or whatever. And I enjoyed it. I thought Kurt Russell was so fucking good, dude. Like he just shines on screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just owns that shit, dude. He fucking
shut up, bitch, or I'll knock every one of your teeth out. You're just so savage.
Dude, Walton Goggins, he's good too, man.
Is he the guy that's supposed to be the sheriff in the movie? Yeah, I love him in that movie, dude.
Yeah, dude.
He's actually my favorite character in that
Baby
whole movie.
Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy is my favorite character in that movie. Especially at the end, he's like, no, I want to hear talk. He's like, no deal, bitch.
Yeah, dude.
It's when John the Hangman catches you, you hang.
See, I feel like people sleep on that one, dude, as far as Tarantino movies.
Honestly, of his movies, I think it's one of his best ones because it solely relies on the characters to drive the plot as opposed to, like, a lot of his movies are, driven by, like, events, and, like, the characters are interesting.
My bad.
No, you're good, man. But it's like it's a much more event-driven plot. So, like, there's always like that at least one scene in the movie where shit just goes off the walls and gets crazy.
Haywire.
But that doesn't really happen in this movie. It's like, yeah, there's like a shootout, but compared to, and I mean, it's like really graphic, some of the shit in this movie, but it's so much more tame than anything else you see in a lot of his other movies. It's like, it just feels so much more grounded, and it's like, I just enjoy the characters a lot more in this movie because they're given way more time to shine, and like they're the focus. And I'm with you. I really like The Hateful Eight.
Great movie. All right, let me shoot through these last ones.
Yep.
I watched a movie called A Short History of the Long Road. It was it had that guy, from Grand Theft Auto 5, the Trevor. The actor?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it was him and his daughter. They were like nomads. They lived in a van and they drove across the country. It was fine. It was And then I watched The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Oh, yeah. How was it? Nah.
There's things I liked about it, things I didn't like about it. Brad Pitt's always pretty great,
Yeah.
Casey Affleck, he was but I don't know, something about the movie, I wasn't vibing with it, but there was things I did like about it. It's worth at least one watch. And I watched Manchester by the Sea again because I love it and I love to cry.
That's a good movie, yeah. And that's honestly, I think that's Casey Affleck's best movie.
I know, that's another Casey Affleck.
Although he fucking cracks me up in and fucking Good Will Hunting. Give me my fucking burger or I'm gonna knock your teeth in. My boy's wicked smart.
I've only seen that once, I think.
Oh, dude, I watch it just for Robin Williams because Robin Williams fucking is the shit in that movie. He's so good.
Good Will Hunting 2, hunting season. The fucking Jay and Silent Bob thing. I don't like the sound of those apples.
Right. I just saw a post about Jay and Silent Bob with Mark Hamill as the cock knocker. He's like, "Why do you call you cock knocker?" He's like, "Well, that's a funny story. You see." Boom, punches him in the balls, and he's like, "Silent Bob, avenge me." Oh man.
All right, just a couple more. We went to the theater and we saw Sasquatch Sunset. You heard about it?
Nah.
You haven't heard about it, dude?
Nah.
It's about a family of Sasquatch.
This is already ridiculous, and I'm in, man.
It was hilarious, dude. I laughed a lot, dude. But there is some like weird fucking scenes and like some weird shit you're gonna see on screen. But that doesn't bother me, It bothers some people. But it was produced by Ari Aster, who's like the Midsummer guy and the
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's about this family of Sasquatch, and they're just going through the forest, they're, eating mushrooms and shit like that. And there's no dialogue throughout the whole film. Zero dialogue.
Okay.
And it was still really fucking good.
That's how you know a movie is worth talking about. Is like if you can make you laugh like that and there's no dialogue.
And one of the Sasquatches is Jesse Eisenberg.
No,
you know who that is?
Yeah, I know exactly.
The Social Network and shit. Yeah, dude. Oh, it was really funny. I might go see it again. I might take my son to go see it because he wanted to see it too. But yeah, it's really funny. But yeah, there's like rape, not rape, but like Sasquatch rape, I don't know. There's
Sasquatch rape.
You're gonna see Sasquatch dicks and shit and vaginas.
God. Oh my god, so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I recommend it. Last one, Sicario. You know that one?
I've heard of it. It's got Benicio del Toro. Yeah.
Yep. Josh Brolin and fucking some other Emily Blunt. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. And that's not normally my type of movie, though,
Right.
But I enjoyed it. It was cool. Let's say we get into a movie.
Well, let's
Aristocats.
Let's do Aristocrats first, just because the other movie I'm gonna shit all over. I'm just gonna spoiler warning right now.
Forewarning. All right. Dude, Aristocats 1970 family comedy. Director Wolfgang Reitherman. We got a 64% on the Rotten Tomatoes score. I feel like it should be more. 70 audience.
This is an old movie though, so it's I can understand. I can kind of understand why the audience is cool.
Realize how old it was until this watch.
Yeah, I think it came out in 1970.
70.
Yeah. So I mean, this movie's almost.
But I grew up with this movie.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I fucking love this movie, man.
I fucking love it.
It's definitely, if it's not my favorite, it's one of my favorite Disney movies for sure.
I know. And I haven't watched it in a long time on purpose because I knew I loved it, back in the day, and now going back, it just cemented it, man.
Well,
it's so fucking good.
What I'll say about this movie that I found surprising, like even as an adult, a lot of the humor still holds up.
It does.
And there's stuff that I didn't catch in previous watches, especially as a kid. Like I really kind of focused on watching it. I was like, oh, there's a lot of shit in here.
There's a little adult humor in there.
Yeah. Like the fucking uncle, he's like shit-faced.
I love Uncle Waldo.
Uncle Waldo?
Bum 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 bum.
The whole neighborhood. Take that, neighborhood.
He's just drunk as fuck.
He's just so fucking drunk, yeah. Dude, one of my favorite jokes, and it's a really subtle one, is when the butler is sneaking the cats out, and then he accidentally backs up in the tree, but he thinks someone is sticking him up at gunpoint, and he just... It's like so subtle, but it's so funny.
Dude, I found myself smiling pretty much throughout this whole movie. I had a big old smile on my dumb face. Same experience,
man. It was just like, oh, man, this is like... It just really kind of took me back to my childhood, man.
And those the two dogs.
Oh, dude, they crack me.
They're like the best part, dude. Almost, dude.
I'm the leader.
Fucking funny.
I'll decide when we go.
Napoleon.
Here we go.
When he's fucking when he's got the hat on.
Yeah.
And he's trying to pull the hat from him with the fishing line or whatever.
Yeah. He fucking nibbles down his whole leg.
Oh, it's so fucking good. Let me throw out a couple taglines. Get with the cats who knows where it's at. That works. And then the other one is dig these cats and all that jazz. Here's my first note. I said, I swear to God, if they do a quote unquote live action remake, I'll be pissed.
Oh yeah, no. Because they fucking ruin all those movies, right? Like the only one that was okay was The Jungle Book. And I actually like the live action ending of The Jungle Book more than I like the original ending.
This movie reminds me of Jungle Book because it was that era, that time.
Well, yeah,
and I love the original Jungle Book.
I do too, man. It's another one of my favorites. Like I said, I like the ending better in the movie, like the new movie, than the original movie. He gets entranced by the little girl, and he goes to the. I kind of like he just kind of saves the animals and hangs out.
What happens in the movie? Or
in the action movie, after he saves all the animals, he kind of just stays as part of the jungle. There is no little girl that comes along and
gets him. He doesn't join the tribe.
He doesn't join the humans. No, he just is embraced by the animals in the forest for fending off Shere Khan.
I remember watching it, but I guess I don't remember the ending. I remember Christopher Walken is one of them.
He's the orangutan. He's King Louie. Yeah.
And then there's.
The original songs in the movie is so much better. I did like Bill Murray playing the Blue. I kind of like that.
Bill Murray.
But so the same actor that plays Thomas O'Malley in Aristocats plays Baloo in Jungle Book. Yeah, a lot of those
same
voices. Yeah, it's like the guy that does the mouse is the snake, and he also plays Winnie the Pooh. But it's a lot of those like
I
classic
love that
voices.
guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know who he is
forget his
really.
name,
I
yeah.
just know his voice, and it's a classic.
Yeah,
it's like
and it's
a
like
voice
his
that's
dude
cemented
hit,
in my psyche.
Also, I will say like for animated movies, dude, the voice actors, like especially in this movie, are so good because some of their delivery is so no good, filthy, rotten butler. That makes me laugh every time I hear
Creme de
it.
la creme de la Edgar.
You're not a cat, you're a rat. Right? Right.
Thomas O'Malley. O'Malley
O'Malley
the alley cat. Do you think he's O'Malley? Like, that's an Irish name, and he's an orange cat. You think that's a correlation?
Probably, yeah, actually.
He's a ginger cat. Thomas O'Malley. Did you watch it on the app, Disney app?
Plus, yeah.
Did you see the fucking thing at the beginning, the disclaimer?
Yeah.
Dude, I have to read it. It says this program includes negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures. Those stereotypes were wrong then and are wrong now.
And honestly, there's not really even that much stuff in this. I mean, I
There's
guess
more though.
Oh, I know. Yeah, go ahead.
Rather than remove this content, we want to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and spark conversation to create a more inclusive future together. Isn't that crazy? Disney is committed to creating stories with inspirational and aspirational themes that reflect the rich diversity of the human experience around the globe. Isn't that a crazy fucking disclaimer to put on a fucking this child?
No, if they would have put it on like Dumbo or something like that, like because like the crows are pretty fucking bad. And
You know what I think it is in this movie? The Chinese cat.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought too. Because I had forgotten about it until I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, I was like, it's definitely this is for the Chinese cat.
Fortune
for
cookie,
sure.
always wrong.
Yep. Yeah, it still makes me laugh though. It still makes me fucking laugh every time.
I feel like that's the only fucking thing why they had to put that disclaimer on there.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, dude. That's such a big disclaimer for this seemingly innocent movie, you know?
Yeah.
It's just funny that they have to do that now in this woke culture or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fucking woke Disney, so we expect, you know what I mean? Because they haven't made a fucking good movie in a while, you know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't know because I don't watch them anymore.
Well, I gave up, you know what I mean? Because they suck.
What was the last newer Disney movie you watched? I mean, some of the Pixar shit is good. Like,
yeah, I'll watch the Pixar stuff because they don't have that fucking like liberalist agenda to try and like it's like an overcorrection, right? I was like, I don't care if the characters are black, white, fucking from India, from China. Like, I don't care. Just make a good movie.
Right.
Like, it's like you can have cultural diversity, but it's like if that's the only reason you're doing it, then you're not making a good movie. You're just fucking pandering. And then nobody gives a shit. Like, it's like if the movie's not good, then nobody's gonna care.
Yeah, I mean, Despicable Me was pretty good, but then they went off the rails with the fucking Minions. I can't stand seeing the Minion anymore.
Yeah. I remembered the last Disney movie I watched was Mulan, and actually, like, for all they're like, oh, you know.
The live action?
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, it's all Asian. And I was like, cool.
That didn't get good reviews.
This movie sucked, like, because you were so concerned with, like, about, like, pandering
just
to being
worried
like,
about
because I love the first Mulan, like the cartoon.
Eddie Murphy, dude.
Well, the fucking movie is awesome. Like, it's so good.
I'll make a man out of you. Let's see. Oh, the animation style, bro. Like, that shit is long gone now.
The hand drawn,
Aristocats style of animation by today's standards, I guess. I mean, the process is antiquated, you know? It's like...
Yeah, the only studio that really does that anymore is Studio Ghibli. And even then, they do, like, a lot of cell shading. But those are it's probably the only company that does, like, still do, like, hand, like, they start with hand drawn like slides and shit, right? And that's Hideo Miyazaki's company. He's essentially like Japanese Disney, but like that's why all his shit looks so much better than anything you'll see on the American side. Like, I know you don't like anime, but dude, his hand drawn shit is beautiful. It looks so good.
I appreciate that shit. You know what I mean? I've always loved fucking animation growing up and everything. You know, that was kind of, I wanted to be an animator. You know,
me too, man.
Kid,
yeah,
dude.
I did too, man. I wanted to fucking like draw comic books and like make
It would be
cartoons. Yeah,
cool fucking field to get into, or even like voice acting. That'd be tight.
Yeah. I'm with it. Let's do it.
I wrote down the ego on Thomas O'Malley. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
Because when we're introduced to him, he's just singing a song about himself, bro.
Yep. And then he's just like trying to wax all into this chick.
Yeah, dude.
And he's like, oh,
he
yeah.
slides in all smooth and slick.
Right. He's like, look at this hot bitch. I'm about to pick her up.
Thomas O'Malley.
But that's my favorite. He's like, carpet for 3, 4,
Magic
5?
Oh, yeah. This bitch. Yeah, it cracks me up. It just cracked me up how he was just walking along singing a song about himself until he met the family cats.
Yep.
He's like, I'm the shit.
He's like,
Thomas O'Malley.
He's like, he just like fucks some like stray cat pussy. Like, that's what that was all about. Because no man walks like that. Like,
yeah.
Like
he was chipper as fuck.
Yeah, he definitely just got laid.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it seems like.
And he's just like, all right, I'm gonna get it in again. Like,
he's got that swagger, man. He's got that fucking.
He did that little foot shuffle.
That
as he
charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that maybe. Yeah. Same voices, Blue. Yeah. When Thomas O'Malley was drowning, dude, and he grabs the goose by the tails, they were like, this is no time for fun and games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's an adult joke.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man.
Oh, fuck. That cracked me up, too. And those goose, they're funny.
Dude, my favorite part of the movie, though, is when the wino is like sitting at the patio bar.
Yeah. And
he sees the mouse running after all the cats, and his eyes get real big, and he like watches them. Then he looks at the wine, and then he just dumps it out.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh shit, Uncle Waldo. Oh, they said he said something about like the restaurant, how they basted something in wine, and they were like, looks like he was marinated in it.
Yep.
The two dogs, Napoleon and Lafayette. This is something I love about the movie too, is because all the characters, man, they all kind of come together in different parts throughout the movie through music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually enjoy the jazz music quite a bit.
It's
man.
cool that like you got these high class cats, you know, and then you got these low fucking jazz cats, and then you got the kids. They're doing their own music thing, and they all kind of come together when they're jamming. You know what I mean? And they're vibing together, and that's kind of one of the things I took away from it. Is like music connects us all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're
all connected by music.
Yeah, music can break a lot of
barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And I think that's like I don't think I ever really noticed that. Well, not noticed. I never really thought about that before, you know. And I think that's a really cool message that I took away from this movie. I love it. Let's see. It does get a little emotional there for a second where, Thomas O'Malley, he kind of wants to be the stepdad for a minute and shit. But then she's like, we have to go home and shit. And he's like, why can't we just do this? He's like, humans don't like us because he's never had a good experience with humans.
Yep.
But she has because her owner is
yeah.
really loving and shit. And Thomas O'Malley knows nothing about that type of love.
Yep.
So he's like, why can't we all just live together? You don't have to go back to Paris and... So that was kind of emotional part. That's nice.
Also, like, when they first get, like, they're lost, like, under the bridge, like, and the kids are scared. Like, it's a pretty, like, emotional moment. I do like Toulouse. He's like, he's like, it was Edgar. He's like, and then later on, I told you it was Edgar. Shut up, Toulouse.
I'm a tough alley cat. I
would say too, the dynamic between the kids is literally like brothers and sisters.
It feels like real.
Yeah, it was like very. I was just like, that was something I noticed around this watch too.
Berlioz is the black one.
And Marie
and Toulouse.
Fight fair, Marie. Females never fight fair.
You're nothing but a sister.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a thing for like a little brother to say to him.
Yeah. You're not a lady. You're nothing but a
sister. Yeah. It's so funny.
When they're playing the song at the beginning. You must learn your scales and your arpeggios.
I like when she rolls her eyes when he's singing because he messes up the words.
You must learn your scales and your arpeggios. Burning.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, he plops down. Boom. And he's still got paint on his hands. Boom, boom. Yeah. Oh, man,
beautiful
movie.
Fucking classic movie, man. It really is.
Well, I'm about at that point. Unless you got any other.
No, man. That's
If you're smart, you'll learn by heart what every artist knows. You must learn your scales and your arpeggios. Rewatchability.
Fuck yeah, man.
I think. This is what I wrote in my notes. It's evergreen. I will watch it anytime.
Yeah.
Any fucking time.
Yeah,
dude.
man.
This movie is evergreen. So, rewatchability 100%. Anytime. When you want to watch it, let's watch it. How about rating?
I'm at like an 8.5, man.
Damn, same thing I wrote. Yeah, yeah, we on the same page. Yeah, we love this movie.
I already knew this movie.
I already knew we both loved this movie when I picked it. That's why I had to pick it.
Hell yeah.
One of the best Disney movies out there. Holy fuck.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, I just had a smile throughout the whole time watching it.
Yeah, and now we got to move on to the movie I picked.
Yeah, give me a second. Right. I'm gonna grab a beer.
Okay. You mind grabbing two of them? Yeah,
I got you.
My guy.
Back in a jiff.
All right. I'll just cut out this dead air.
And we're back. Now we're about to get
snug as a plug.
Drew's fucking movie. Thanks for making me watch this one, Drew.
Hey, I'm just returning the favor for. No, I'm gonna start with this. I fucking hate movies like this. Like, I really do. Like, because I had no idea what it was, and it's another one of those like fucking weird, pseudo.
Sci-fi.
Like dreamlike sci-fi movies, like it's like kind of like Mulholland Drive, right? Like it's like that where like you don't really know what's real and what's like not real.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate movies like this.
You picked it because your roommate had it on his shelf or something.
he told me to watch it, and I was like, this is the last time I ever listened to you about a fucking movie.
He must have grown up with it, because this is a movie like you wouldn't gravitate to later in life.
It was made in the 80s, and it's made by a director that you don't like. It's the guy that made...
Terry Gilliam.
He made Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and he also made 12 Monkeys.
Dude, I need to watch that. I haven't watched it yet.
See, that is the one that I should have picked. I hear
it's good.
That is one of the movie of his that I like the most. Where it's like
Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah, it's got Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis.
Nice.
Yeah, it's that same like weird where you're not really sure what's reality, or like in what's what's like in the character's mind, but it makes sense because of the character's psychosis and because he's constantly traveling through time, so his mind's fucked up. So he's kind of like an he's an unreliable narrator, which is actually was what I was going to start with about talking about this movie. So our narrator, like the main character, is really unreliable because we can't tell what is like, and it becomes, as the movie goes on, it's pretty easy to tell like all the stuff with where he's like a warrior or he's like with that lady. That's all him dreaming because he doesn't
when he's got the wings and shit.
Yep, it's because he doesn't want to experience reality because his reality is fucking dull. It's dull. And it's boring. It's monotonous. And it, like we kind of get the idea that the government just controls everything, right?
Yeah. By the way, I don't think we said it. We're talking about Brazil, a movie called Brazil.
Don't watch it. End of assessment. No. But
there were some things I appreciated about it. Like some of the comedy is
sure. Like I mean, it's
some of the jokes kind of landed with me a little bit.
It's satire and it's a black comedy. But it takes a lot of its premise from 1984, which is a George Orwell book.
Didn't he do like a lot of... Oh, he did like Holy Grail, Monty Python movies, right? Terry Gilliam.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Did he?
Oh, he did The Fisher King, too. I saw that once. Didn't care for it.
Yeah,
But yeah, go ahead.
It's just like I just don't like stories that are told in this way because for one I find it boring. Like I don't really find it an engaging way to tell a story.
I found it like aesthetically I didn't like it, dude. Just all the
thing that I was most interested in was like all the things that were going around around the character, right? Like I was completely uninterested in the main character, but like for example his mom, how she just keeps getting this plastic surgery. It's like these people with money that are obsessed with youth, right? Where they don't
vanity
yeah, because they have the money to do it. And his mom is a social climber, so like she's garnered all this power through social climbing.
Right. She tries to get him the promotion and shit.
I do also like to there was like some details like the dystopian elements I kind of like where. You know, the government is so big, like there's so much bureaucracy, like you can't even get anything done. Because like everybody that he like tries to go to like get something done, like everybody, even other characters you see interact with like government officials, they're basically just sending them to other places, right? Like they're just being an asshole.
Yeah, it's like the government getting in its own way.
Yep.
In order to like not get shit done,
which
whatever.
I mean that happens in real life. Like with certain things, like you have to go through so much red tape to like. It's like why the director is like very against big government, and for good reason, right?
Yeah.
It's also kind of a testament to technology getting in our way, right? Where like technology has evolved to the point where it's supposed to make things easier and more useful to us, but it creates more problems now because it's so ingrained like in our lives.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of a thing that I fucking noticed in this movie is that the technology is supposed to be advanced, but it just everything It just seems like an inconvenient way to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's kind of the point, right? Is like, because if the government controls everything, like, look at how they run shit, right? So if they're literally controlling everything, it's going to get ran like shit.
This is the note I wrote. It's supposed to be the future, but all of the technology and everything seems needlessly more complicated. Yep. Like the TVs, how they have the magnifying glass.
And I also have a theory about...
And the air conditioning is all crazy, and even the cars and shit.
So we know that Sam is an unreliable narrator. That's our main character.
Right.
And he's kind of forced into, like, taking this promotion that he doesn't want, because he just wants to...
He wants to find that girl.
Well, he likes the fact that he can just do his boss's job and then fuck off, right? Like, he's not trying to have more responsibilities
until he finds that girl. That's when he takes.
That's when he makes the call. Yeah. And I have a theory, though. My theory is I don't think that Robert De Niro character is actually a real person.
Isn't it weird, like Robert De Niro taking this role? It's kind of weird.
It is very weird, and it's weird
because in the '80s, wasn't he doing Goodfellas or some shit?
So I think he did Raging Bull in 1980, and the movie won a Oscar, I think, for Best Picture, and I think he won an Oscar for Best Actor. So this was like the height of his powers. So you're right. It's really fucking weird that he's in this like off. I was like, did he owe this director a favor? Like, what? Why the fuck is he in this movie? And why is his character like? You're not even convinced that his character is a real person. And I don't think.
I know he just zip lines away all the time.
I think literally Sam has imagined this person because Sam is, to me, incapable of accepting all the shit that he does wrong. And so, like, because at first, he's like, well, I'm an agent of the government. I have to follow the law. And so every time Robert De Niro's character shows up, it's basically him breaking the law. So, like, I kind of noticed that, where it's just like, it's his, because he knows that doing anything without proper paperwork, like, he could end up where he ends up at the end of the movie.
Sure.
So, to me, it tells me that this is his mind's way of coping because he's so ingrained in the system, especially with his dad being like a former like high-end official in the I forget what it's fucking called, the main central government agency.
Yeah.
And his mom having like ties to it. So
yeah, there's a term, but I can't remember it either.
It doesn't fucking matter. But to me, it's his psychosis being like, okay, well, it's not me breaking the law. It's this guy, and I'm just going along with it, right? And that's kind of like that. That's my interpretation of Robert De Niro's character in this movie. It's his physical manifestation of, all right, well, it's not me actually doing it, so I'm not in the wrong. Like, so, like, I shouldn't get in trouble for this. Like, and that's kind of how I know there's a lot of, I did some research on this movie too. There's a lot of allegories to 1984, and there's a lot of symbolism, even like for the set pieces, like like you were talking about the crazy technology, how it seems so inconvenient.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be like a symbol for the fact that the government just controls your daily life, so it's super fucking inconvenient. Like, you know what I mean? That's like what
that makes sense, I guess. But visually, it's not pleasing.
I'm with you. Like, a lot of the stuff in this movie is really visually displeasing. What I think it's supposed to be, because it's supposed to be like it's a dystopian nightmare. But I just think that there are so many movies that do this.
But why would you want to watch a movie that's displeasing to look at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it's also, I just think that there are so many movies that handle this concept better, right? That are actually more engaging to watch. Because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the time, like, watching it, I was just fucking bored. Like, these kind of movies just bore the shit out of me. I was like, okay, so our main character's in La La Land again because he can't handle the fact that his life is sucks. And I was like, well, it's like, that's life, man. Sometimes it sucks, and you got to not be a bitch, and you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, are you a child like in Fantasyland all the time? Like that's like it was like I kind of got that thing about Sam too. He's like a dude that just never grew up. He's just constantly living in fantasy because he can't deal with the real world. And it's like, I mean, I get it. Life is hard, but I don't know.
That one part was funny because when he got his new office and the desk was halfway in the other guy's, they were fighting over the desk.
That was pretty funny.
Let me see what I wrote. Robert De
Niro kind of stole the show in this movie too. He kind of cracked me up.
Oh, when we're first introduced to the when he comes in and he
immediately pulls a gun on him.
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna rob him and shit.
Dude, I did like that a lot, actually.
Never be too careful, dude.
Yep.
But he was just there to fix the AC.
Yep. Dude, that part did crack me up. That was probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
That was pretty fucking funny.
Or how he rigged those people's suits to fill up with sewage.
Dude from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yep, he's one of the mechanics from the Central Agency. Yeah.
Dude,
yep.
I might pick that movie one time.
Yeah, Bob Hopkins, I think is his name.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I wrote down that it's strange, silly, and absurd, chaotic.
I want to read a review that I found, and I think it perfectly summarizes this movie.
Here's one of my notes real quick.
Okay, sure.
I have no idea why they called it Brazil.
I actually do.
Well, okay.
So
Enlighten me.
The reason the movie is called Brazil, and I have the song pulled up.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Pulling it up.
Give it a goog.
So the song is called Aquarela do Brasil. It's by Ari Barrosa. It's one of the main songs in the movie. So it's essentially, I don't know the translation, but that's why this movie is named Brazil, after that song. It's the Aquarela do Brasil. It's named Brazil after the song because one of the main songs you hear playing throughout the movie is that song. It's a very happy and uplifting, and it's done purposefully because everything going around is horrible.
Okay.
So it's an uplifting song. So it's that's why it's Brazil, because it's supposed it's satirizing itself. So it's Brazil because it's supposed to be this happy song, and then this movie's about a dystopian nightmare. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's called Brazil.
All right.
So everything in this movie is supposed to have be either symbolism or an allegory or a parallel to 1984. So there's a lot of stuff in this movie that's very intentional. It's just that I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't have to do a fucking book report to enjoy a movie. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like these kinds of movies. I'm all right, well, the fuck did I just watch? Let me go figure it out.
Yeah.
And there's some things I kind of picked up on, the Robert De Niro thing. I kind of picked up on by myself. I was I don't actually think he's a real person, and I think it's largely because
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it's largely, I think it's because Sam is a unreliable character, and what led me to the conclusion that Robert De Niro is not real is at the end of the movie when he comes to save him from the Central Agency, and he breaks him out, and they have this big shootout and whatever, and then it flashes back and he's just sitting in the chair, and I was I don't even think Robert De Niro is a real person in this movie.
Interesting. One of my notes was this is kind of a Christmas movie.
Oh yeah, the fucking Christmas yeah.
It's more of a Christmas movie than Batman, the one that Mike picked. You know?
Yeah.
Just because that takes place during Christmas time. There was nothing Christmas about Batman Returns. Is that the right one?
Batman Returns. Well, it's the movie starts and it's supposed to be close to Christmas Eve. That's the whole thing.
But this movie, it has more Christmas to it because there's exchanging gifts and
And the irony is though is all the gifts that they're giving, it's just all the same shit, right? Cuz it's your government approved gifts that you're allowed to give, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a really, I don't know.
Let's see what other notes I got. This note, I was just saying I got a little exhausted watching this movie, you know what I mean?
So I'm with you, man. These kinds of movies.
It was a little grueling, and it's kind of long for a fucking silly movie. What is it, like?
It's 2.5 hours almost,
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, the same deal with Mulholland Drive, and I think there's like another movie that is kind of like that kind of style, where it's more like the style and the symbolism of the movie is more important than the story. And I just don't like movies like that. I don't think it's, typically speaking, when movies are done like this, I don't find their story to be engaging. And for me, like what interests me mostly in movies is the story and the characters. So if I'm not being engaged by either one of those things, because let's face it, Sam is a boring fucking character, and he's meant to be.
Yeah.
But nothing, like, you can be a boring, static character, and still by the story, like, it could still be interesting. But it's like neither. Still be polarizing, but neither one of those things are engaging. The only engaging thing about this movie are the side characters. I was a lot more interested in his mom, this fucking weird lady getting her face stretched out, or like Robert De Niro's character, or like all like the fucking lady that was in his dreams that he meets, and like I'm like much more interested in them because they feel much more like real characters. And Sam is on like kind of a cartoon character because he's just constantly fading in and out of like dream and fantasy. You know what I mean? He's like constantly daydreaming.
Dude, this movie is really silly at times, which I appreciated some of that humor.
Right, to break up like the tension, like the weird like backdrop of like just being like dismal.
Yeah,
and like being this like hellish world.
There's funny jokes in there, and there's that I did chuckle at some of those, but also this movie is kind of like really graphic at times.
It really is
like when dude gets shot in the head and shit, or when he tips over the coffin and all the like fleshy bones.
Yeah, that was that was actually one of the most.
That was like a dream sequence.
Yeah,
right?
It was one of the most poignant visuals though in the movie. Like I was just
that was wild. See, that's what kind of like. It kind of grabs your attention just on shock value, So you're watching it, whatever. Yeah, I'm watching it, and then something like that happens. You're like, holy shit, dude! I didn't realize this movie was gonna get that fucking graphic.
Yeah. I think the coffin scene is. You're right. That's the big one. That was the one that kind of
just a bunch of flesh and bones.
It kind of took me by surprise. Honestly, I was like, whoa, okay. Dude. I was like, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, dude. So I made a point to write that down. The ending. I feel like they did that on Futurama, didn't they? Futurama did a similar thing.
This is where...
Obviously, this came before Futurama, but I think Futurama...
Well, this is where it also parallels 1984, because the main character in 1984 is like a really dull, boring dude who works for the government, does a lot of shit that he's not supposed to do that's illegal, and then eventually gets found out, and he gets killed, like, right? And so... Sam's not necessarily dead, but he's essentially like brain dead, right?
Right.
So it very much draws a parallel from 1984, because in 1984, because this movie it's pretty obvious it takes place in London. So 1984 takes place in London, and it's a dystopian future where the totalitarian government controls everything. So like if you take out all the silly shit and kind of get to the meat of what he's trying to say, a lot of it is very similar to the book 1984. It's just packaged in a different way, where it's like there's more jokes and more satire. But not to say there's not satire in 1984, but it's just a little more nuanced than this, where it's like sometimes it's kind of hitting you over the head, right, with like the big crazy machines, where it's like it's supposed to be like super technology, but it looks kind of fucking wonky and stupid.
Yeah, that's so fucking weird how they do that.
No, I'm just like, I was about 40 minutes into this movie, and I was like, another one of these fucking movies.
You picked it.
I know. I was like, I should have fucking researched it, man, knowing that.
I know, you went in blind. You were like, I'm
just
picking this movie just because I don't know nothing. I asked you a bunch of questions during that last episode.
I know.
I was like, what about this? You're like, I don't know. I was like, who's in it? I don't know.
Yep, I have no idea.
I was like, all right, well, I guess we're
It's going to get weird, and it did. It got very fucking weird, and because of the person that told me to watch it, I probably should have fucking known better.
What's the Futurama episode I'm thinking of? It's the one where like Bender, he's going to like get an upgrade or something.
Yeah, and like
he gets buzzed and he thinks he busts out and does a whole bunch of things. Yeah, but then it turns out he did get upgrade at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's also kind of similar to a scene in Clockwork Orange where he's like strapped to the chair and they're making him watch like all the images,
prying open his eyeballs.
Yeah.
How do you like that movie?
It's all right. I don't think it lived up to the hype, honestly.
It's kind of like a one-time watch for me.
Yeah.
That's Kubrick, right?
Yeah, it was a Kubrick movie.
Maybe I'll give it another shot, but that's a bit rough. Anything else?
So I was gonna do something that I haven't done on the podcast before, which was read a bad review about this movie.
Bring it on.
And I was just like, I think it summarizes this movie perfectly. It says,
where'd you get the?
It's off of Reddit, but it's perfect though.
Okay.
It says everything in Brazil, especially everything interesting, seems to be happening around the protagonist rather than to him. It comes across as a series of Monty Python skits about bureaucracy that we just painted around a single character with only the barest and most tenuous of plots tying them together. And I was like, it's pretty fucking spot on, honestly. Like,
they mentioned Monty Python, which apparently is the same director.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, honestly, like by the humor.
Yeah. I know the humor. I did like some of the humor.
I did like the waiter. The waiter, like when he was like he's like,
oh yeah,
say the fucking number.
And then like shit explodes behind them, and they don't even
they just pretend like it didn't happen. Yeah, like this is like a common occurrence.
Yeah, that's weird. Rewatchability.
Fuck no.
I don't think so, Tim.
Fuck no. Fuck this movie.
Maybe in the next life.
Oh, dude, this movie's going to get the worst rating yet for me. I told you I was going to shit all over this movie.
I didn't. I kind of gave it a generous score, but maybe I'm rethinking it.
I'm not. I'm
Where are you at?
I'm at a 3.5, man.
3.5. All right.
I
wrote down 5 at best, but you know that pretty much means lower.
Yeah,
you know,
you're like really probably at a 4. Like
it was. I tried to focus on the humor. The humor. There's some funny shit in there. That's why I gave it.
Yeah, the Robert DeNiro. That's probably the opening scene with him is my favorite. Him just coming in and literally just like already having the gun pointed at him.
He's like, you can never be too careful.
Never be too careful.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't see myself ever watching this again.
No, never.
It's crazy.
That was brutal.
All right, buddy. One thing left to do, buddy.
Pick a movie. All right, this time I'm going with them. I know exactly what I'm picking. I thought about it.
I don't know.
It's a movie that I really like, and I've been wanting to watch it again. It's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Give it to me straight.
I'm picking The Gentleman.
The new movie?
The newer one, yeah.
The one you just watched in theaters?
No. That's the League of.
Oh.
That's the League of Ungentlemanly Wherefore. Oh. This one is it's on Netflix right now. There's also a Netflix series that is kind of like tied to it.
I think I saw the series.
But the movie, it's got
it's just called The Gentleman.
It's called The Gentleman. It's got Matthew McConaughey and it's got the guy from Sons of Anarchy, the main character. I forget his name.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, he's in that movie. It's got a couple other like pretty famous actors in it. It's got Hugh Grant's in it. Hugh Grant is like a scummy private detective. Like it's a good movie.
About?
Just
vaguely.
Matthew McConaughey is the premier weed dealer in all of like UK and London, but he's trying to get out of the business and sell it. But then all this crazy stuff happens that kind of keep him in the business, and so it's about that. Yeah, it's like this.
That's enough.
It's a fucking good movie. I can't wait to watch it. Actually,
I'm
I might watch it twice. This
I'm on the fence about what I want to pick. Let me ask you this: do you have Hulu?
I don't, but
maybe I won't pick that then.
no, it's okay. Half the time I just end up renting the fucking movies anyway.
I think it's a strictly Hulu thing, but that's all right. I don't have to pick that. Well,
I could probably just ask my sister. I think my sister still has Hulu, so I could just ask her for her account.
I'm choosing The Wrestler. Fuck it.
Oh shit! The one with Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
I was looking down my list. I was like,
I love that movie. Let's go. Get to see Marissa Tomei's titties.
I've only seen it once. I love it. What's the dude's name? Fucking shit.
The main character, or
yeah, what's the actor's name?
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. Yep. That's right.
It's got Marissa Tomei, and I forget who else.
I love Marissa Tomei.
Yeah,
bro.
dude. She's still hot.
How about that Seinfeld episode where George tries to go on a date with her?
Right? And he finds out because he finds out he's her type. That's so funny.
She likes short, stocky, bald men. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Mike. Originally, Mike suggested this movie to me, and I watched it, and I loved it. It's Darren Aronofsky, right? I believe.
Yep, I think you're right.
And I loved it, dude.
This is good.
I've only seen it once, and I can't wait to watch it again.
Dude, I think this is going to be one of those movie lineups where it's like the first time I think we both pick. Well, that's not true. There's been other podcasts where we both pick good movies, but I think like this is like we picked some really fucking good movies this time.
I did get a suggestion from a friend, which I'll probably pick next time. If you're listening, Matt. Oh, the camera went out. But anyways, if you're listening, Matt, I'll probably pick your movie next time.
What's the movie? You're gonna tell me? You're like, I'll tell you next time.
Sling Blade.
Oh shit! Okay.
Have you seen it?
No,
I've never.
I know
seen
of it. I've never watched it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good one to pick then. All right. So next time on Kevin and Drew Talk Movies, we got The Gentleman.
Yep, The Gentleman.
And The Wrestler.
Hey.
The Gentleman Wrestler. Fuck yeah, this was a good episode.
Yep. Hey.
We got to shit on a movie, and we got to just
embrace a great movie
about a movie. Yeah.
Yep. But I'm the leader. I decide when it ends. It's the end.
Till next time.
Oh man.
Fuck my mouth. Man, it's so good.